Hi, I'm Dr. Tasmin Cordy with Sage Nutrition in Little Silver, New Jersey. And if you have fibromyalgia, or you think you might, or you've been diagnosed with it and may not have it, we need to figure that out first. So fibromyalgia is a syndrome or a set of symptoms that is very much a diagnosis of exclusion. So we need to make sure you don't have other things before we tell you you do have fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia itself is a fairly complicated syndrome, and it's a problem at the central nervous system. So fundamentally, you have problems processing pain. So when we press on different places on your body, on your shoulders, arms and legs, your torso on the front and on the back, and on your head and on your spine, you respond to pain differently than someone without fibromyalgia. You respond in a much more acutely sensitive way to stimulus that shouldn't be painful. That's fundamentally what fibromyalgia is. Now, it goes along with all kinds of other symptoms like digestive disorders, brain fog, fatigue, sleeplessness, depression, anxiety, other kinds of achy joint problems. But again, it's mostly a soft tissue problem where you can't stand a certain amount of pressure because of the stimulus. That stimulus is too powerful for you or too strong for you, and it hurts you. So what we want to do is figure out why that's happening for you, why your central nervous system is over-responding, is dysfunctioning. And we start with food sensitivity testing, because we know that if you're sensitive to foods that you're commonly eating, particularly if you also have digestive disorders, again, which is common, we need to make sure we're removing those, because food sensitivities over time will cause chronic inflammation. And the last thing we want is causing chronic inflammation simply because you're eating the wrong foods. And then what we know about food sensitivities is that there's something that are very hard to figure out without doing blood testing, because sensitivities is different than allergies. In a sensitivity, you may eat something today and not have a problem with that food, or not have an abnormal or inappropriate or poor response from that food for anywhere between the time you eat it up to 5 days later. So there's a lot of time in between eating a food and figuring out whether or not it's bad for you, depending on how your body processes that food at the many levels of processing that happen with the food. So if something you eat today is causing you a problem in 5 days, you've done all kinds of other things between now and 5 days from now that may also be a problem. So we blood test so we know exactly what foods you're sensitive to. And we get a good idea of how long to remove those foods, and we put you on a very customized plan so that we know exactly when you can reintroduce foods, and then we can watch those foods as we reintroduce them to make sure they're not causing a problem when we reintroduce them. The second thing we're going to do is nutrient deficiency testing, because if you've got some chronic inflammation happening, if you have fibromyalgia or fibromyalgia-like symptoms and syndromes, you have some nutrient deficiencies without question. We just need to know which ones those are and how to replace them properly, depending on the kinds of perhaps B vitamins you're missing, or the kinds of E vitamins you're missing, or the different kinds of hormones that are out of balance. And so we want to make sure we know what those are so we can replace them properly. And the third thing we're going to look at, and this is really a big one in fibromyalgia, is toxicities, or your environment and how your environment is causing or creating problems for you. And a lot of people with fibromyalgia have a really poor detox or elimination system. They don't clean out their system very well. Their lymphatic system is sluggish. Their liver doesn't clean things out well. Their kidneys don't clean things out very well. And so they get very stuck, and they have a lot of symptoms as a result of that stuckness, or as a result of that poor movement in the channels of elimination and the pathways of detox. And so we take a look at the things that shouldn't be going in, the toxins, and eliminate or lower that as much as possible, so we can make sure that as we're getting you better, we're also trying not to get you worse at the same time. So those three things is what we put together to make your program customized, individualized, and make you better as fast as possible. Everyone's different. We're all on a different path, but we want to make sure we individualize and customize your program as well as we can. So we test, and we test, and we test, and then we customize, and then we watch you get better as we help you implement your individualized and personalized program to repair your health. So call us at 732-852-7752. We'll get you in for a free consultation, see what we can do to start getting you better. Have a great day.